All right, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Once again, this your boy Rob Thomas Jr. This is kind of, I guess you could say, part 2 of that video I just did, Protect Your Children. Now, what we have here in America is one of the most traumatic and tumultuous times. I mean, this country's ever seen in its history. Man, you got anarchy out there in the street. Man, it's like out here raining and shit. I'm almost at home. But you got anarchy in the streets. You got a virus that's killing a lot of people, and hospitals are participating in corruption because they're diagnosing people who died in fucking plane crashes as COVID-19. So it's so much crazy stuff going on that we can't control. But what we can control is what happens to our families and our children. Mainly being, there's nowhere in the world we as black people especially should be letting our kids go back to these schools. You know what I'm saying? Come on. These schools can't even control simple spreads of the flu or the common cold. We as black people also know how our people have been targeted for science and genetic type experiments, man, going back to the Tuskegee experiment way before that. We as black people have to really just step up as a group, really all people. But as black people especially, because we make up the majority of Caddo Parish, we should get it together and tell our leaders, we don't give a damn about that money Donald Trump threatened to cut off from y'all if y'all don't open these school systems back. We ain't sending our children to school. And guess what? Even if they try to enforce laws on the books mandating our children go to school, guess what? If there's 80,000 parents with, just say, 90,000 children in this school system, all of us should boycott and say, hell no. Because guess what? They can't arrest all 80,000. You see what I'm saying? Really what it is, it's a rush for your local parish. Well, here in Louisiana we got parish. But for your local government to keep getting that federal funding. They don't give a damn about your kids. You know what I'm saying? They don't really care. Hell, look at how our schools are failing. For education. So now you want to send our children into these death traps because, again, it ain't going to be the schools in the black neighborhoods that go get the sophisticated sterilizations and, latest advances, whether you could just walk through the door and they could tell if you got a fever. Hell no. It's going to be us sending our kids to death traps. So think about this. The virus has mutated so many times now. You got numbers really showing that the majority of the cases that's happening now, or a great majority of the cases, are people 19 and younger. You see all the different mutations that's causing children to come up with different types forms of the virus. So why would we play with our children's lives? So the best thing we could do is put pressure on our Caddo Parish School Board Superintendent. Say, I don't know what you need to do, how you do it, and it might be too late, but you need to do it because you're getting paid damn near $250,000 a year. So you got an incentive to rush this shit back open. But anyway, we need to write superintendent and tell them, pause, man. There's nowhere in hell we're going to send our children into these schools when y'all can't even control the basic day-to-day needs and situation in these schools. So y'all stay tuned. I'm going to do one more video to wrap that up. So I pretty much said it. But y'all stay tuned, man, because this is serious. Very serious, man. Think about it. When you have 4 or 5 kids at school, they got the flu or the flu is spreading real bad, they close schools down to sanitize. Think about it. This virus is spreading way faster than the flu. Now, the death rate actually is lower than that of the flu. But who wants to send their children to a place where they potentially, are sending their children to death? Now, again, your school board is trying to rush this open because Donald Trump told them that if y'all don't open up the school, we're going to cut funding. So for people like Dr. Gorey, the superintendent here, who again making $250,000 a year, and for order for him to continue to get his check, they got to roll and open these schools. But we know that this is an unsafe situation. Think about this. If you got a grandparent, a mother, or somebody in a nursing home, you can't even go see them. So why the hell would you let your kids go up in one of these schools, man? And then what you expecting these kids to sit around for 8 hours a day and wear masks? What about social distancing? 6 feet apart? This shit is ridiculous and irresponsible. Y'all give me a second.